The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of rmconair.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
And hello, and welcome to another edition of Manners and More with Millena. I'm your host, Millena Gay, and today we are going to be talking about music and male etiquette and art. So first, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in today. Your support is so very appreciated. And you just sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show with Norwood Young, with John Downey III, and with Ms. Donna Andrew. So, feel free today, if you'd like to chat in, just go on to the live chat and chat in your questions. We're not taking phone calls today, but we will entertain live chatting requests. So with that, it is my pleasure to introduce first Mr. Norwood Young. And some of you may remember him from Pieces of a Dream. It was a fantastic group. Oh, they had such beautiful, beautiful music. Maybe Norwood will sing a little something for us. I didn't ask him about that yet. And, you know, that's what's up with live things.
Twist my arm. Yeah.
So maybe he will regale us with that. Or he actually has a new single out called the Nana Song. And that's actually what we really want to hear. Yeah. So we'll talk to Norwood about that. And also, he's so talented and so wonderful and such a great friend. Oh, love the talented friends. He wrote a book as well, and it is called Getting Back to My Life, The Chronicles of Norwood Young. And he's going to discuss that a little bit as well. Also in the studio is our regular good old buddy, Mr. John Downey III. He is so fantastic and fabulous, doing so many wonderful things. He is a singer, he's an actor, and now he is an event planner, we'll call it. But he has a very special event coming up on June the 6th, to which you are absolutely invited, and you'll definitely want to know what that is. And also, our final guest today is Miss Donna Andrew. She is a magnificent artist. If you can see this artwork that is behind me, this is fabulous. We will talk to her in a little while. And I'm not going to tell you how old she is because you're not even going to believe me when I say it. But she's so talented, so gifted, so blessed, and it is my honor and pleasure to have her here on the show. Thank you, Donna, for joining us. And so with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Manners and More with Millena. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and welcome back to Manners and More with... We're back? Okay, welcome back to Manners and More with Millena, and we're live in the studio with Norwood Young, who...
and I'm going to say it wasn't me.
Okay.
It was not me.
It wasn't John, it was Norwood, and that is not the actual effect we want to give on the Etiquette show.
Because it was the Etiquette show, Millena, I thought that it would be a little funny, because I am a practical joker, to do what I do on call pretty well, which is...
Oh, my God.
And now we get a phone call on the Etiquette show.
That is one of the things you do not do
Yes.
ever publicly.
That's right.
So I did that on
That's right.
purpose
I
to
understand.
show a lesson in manners. That is what we don't do from the front end or the back end. We don't do that in public. That's manners 101.
That's beautiful.
Okay?
Okay. Yes, you're absolutely right. We do not do
Right.
that.
We don't do that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Thank you for that
You know what I'm
demonstration.
saying? I had to demonstrate
of
it
what
for
not to
you.
do.
Exactly.
I appreciate
What
that.
not to do.
Thank you, my friend.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. That's what friends do.
That's what friends are
They
for.
just take charge.
Wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here you go.
Actually, we do. Actually, we do.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, today I would gonna talk to each one of you, absolutely. But first I want to give you a chance to promote and talk about what it is that you're doing now, and then we're going to get back into the etiquette.
Okay.
Even though, thank you for that immediate segue.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you know,
that.
I wanted to give you some leeway to open up your show.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I hope I was effective. With
You were
my-
very
with my
effective.
bird. Okay.
That was very awesome.
Now, what I'm doing right now, and I'm really excited about, is I have a new single called the Nana Song that's being played on the the radio stations, and it's doing extremely well. It's moving up the charts, and I'm really, really excited about it. And I thank LA for their support. It's been absolutely incredible. It's a catchy song, so everybody's singing it and calling me and leaving it on my answering machine and things of that nature. And on this Thursday, I do a show called Norwood Young, The Living Room, and you've been there as a guest, and we have a great time. It's a very, very intimate atmosphere where you can relax and be social. And this Thursday will probably be the last Thursday for a little bit. I know I'm sad too, but we need to restructure things, and I want everything to be perfect for the guest. Absolutely perfect.
Yes, you are an excellence. Excellence is your middle name, as is mine. But
thank you.
excellence, and
Thank
your
you.
parties are amazing
Thank you.
all the time.
And that's the kind of feel that I try to bring and incorporate into my show. You know, in my show we have social media Twitter breaks. You know what I mean? Because I want to tweet what's going on too. So like when you come to the show, I want to tweet the fact that you're there.
Right.
So I need that Twitter break in the middle of the song so we can do what we do. You know, so I'm really excited about that. So I'm inviting everyone to come out Thursday night, and it's a place called Les Noches du Figaro. We'll call it the Figaro, and it's at 618 South Broadway, and that's downtown in 6th Street, 6th and Broadway.
Okay.
The show starts at 8:30. Showtime is at 8 o'clock, but you know your relatives, coming a little late. Don't say nothing.
LA people time. That's what we
Is
call it.
that LA people
LA
time?
people
Boom.
time.
So LA people come,
No, John's relatives too now.
Is John relative?
John's a relative.
Oh,
He
okay.
is. Don't let the
Okay, boom.
paleness-
Don't be
All right,
confused.
cousin John. So
His face right
I
here.
hit the stage at 8:30. I hit the stage at 8:30, and it's a great show. And then I don't do open mic per se, just because you never know what you're gonna get, and people expect certain things from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I try to provide that. So what I do is I have a plethora of friends who are in the entertainment industry, and I invite them to come and sing for me, spoken word, comedy. So it's always top notch, grade A. This week, Elaine Gibbs, Elaine Gibbs from the X Factor.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Finalist in the X Factor is going to come and be one of my special guests this week. So we're going to have a great time. So I really want everybody to come down. And those who are listening to the sound of my voice will get a discounted price.
Ooh, and what about those who are looking at your beautiful face on camera right
and if
there?
you're looking at my beautiful, is it beautiful?
It's right there.
Where is it? Right there? Okay. If you're looking at my face, hey, if you're looking at my face, discounted ticket. The ticket at the door is normally, $15. But if you're a listener on this show, it's $10.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay,
Bless your
so
heart.
just come to the theater and to the venue and simply state that you heard me on the Millena show. Manners with Millena. Manners
And
what
more.
is- Manners and more with Millena.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So come on down.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was wonderful. That was a wonderful introduction to
Well,
it. You
good.
need to make a commercial for it.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
And now tell us about this book, this fabulous book.
That's going to get a little deep.
Uh-oh.
But getting back to my me is in chronicles my career and my life, and basically, it's been a big journey. It's been a vast journey. I started on Star Search was my first big break, which was like the original American Idol,
Yeah.
and then I went from Star Search and signed a deal with EMI Records, and I became a member of Pieces of a Dream, and we did Soul Train and, you know, all the major things. Somewhere in between that time, I remembered being molested and raped as a young kid by a family member. So without getting too deep, that escalated into self-mutilation, various plastic surgeries, things that I could do to escape from what actually happened. Okay? So I wasn't addicted to drugs, but I abused the hell out of them. So getting back to my me is just basically a truth telling of everything that I went through, a lot of who I went through it with, and getting back to what the core of my passion is in my music, which is why I've sold my house. I sold a mansion.
You sold that house? Oh.
Yeah. But I love where I am. I love doing what I'm doing now and the way I'm living now, because it's all about the music and about me. And the attachments that I have to people are based on me and not driving the Rolls Royce and living.
You didn't sell the Rolls Royce, did you?
Most certainly. That's it. And that is why. So my point. So I did not want to go through my life whether or not I was valuable without the Rolls Royce, the jewels, and I didn't sell the jewels though.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, come on now.
Didn't sell those, but because I can pass them down. You know what I mean? But so it was necessary for me to demand my self-worth. Mm-hmm. Demand my self-worth. Will you still be supportive? Will you still be a friend if you are not invited to a free party at Youngwood Court? You see what I'm saying? Or a free dinner with Norwood Young. Where's the value? So now I am, in this next phase of my life, very happy that I can see where my true friendships lie. And I rely on them, and they rely on me, and it's a wonderful life. So getting back to my me, it's kind of a tell-all. There's some people that I don't name in there, but you'll know who they are if you right. And there are some people that I do because they were a part of the journey. Right. One of the wonderful things is one of the wonderful people that was on my journey is Michael Collier. Wonderful human being who has a radio show out here, and we've been friends for many, many years now. We both went through those things for different reasons in our lives. Those drug challenges, those things, you know. So again, I say, getting back to my me, the book is pretty deep. You know what I mean? And I found that it opened a lot of wounds for a lot of people, but it started the beginning process of their healing. You know, so basically that book, the book is good. It's deep. It's gonna make you laugh, make you cry. It's all that stuff. Yeah, but I'm back to my me.
You're back to your
back
you?
to my me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So glad to have you back to your. I didn't even know that you'd sold the house or
yeah.
sold the car.
It's been about a year and 7 months now I sold the house.
Wow, really? See, shows the last time I was over there, huh?
See?
Doesn't matter. You're still good people. I remember, actually, you were one of the first people that I met when I moved to L.A. It's been 8 years now.
Okay.
And it was at some event downtown, some Hollywood rooftop thing. And that we'd met there. There was just some kind of connection there. And you wrote on the back of the little flyer postcard your phone number. And you said, be sure to give me a call.
That's me.
And I never did.
And then
until a little bit later.
But, you know
I still have that postcard.
But see, that's what the thing about this town is if you effortlessly can connect with a spirit, then you should hold on to it. Because later on down the line, you never know when they meet up again. And there's so much, and I'd say 80% of it, this Hollywood thing. Oh, let's get together tomorrow. Oh, let's call. You know, John. So it's a whole bunch of crap.
It is.
So it delights me to know that I've gone through this journey, threw out a whole bunch of old baggage, and then the flowers that are supposed to grow come through the soil anyway.
Exactly, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely going to read this book. I've been meaning to read it because actually your book and your pictures displayed where mine is as well at L&L's boutique.
Okay.
We have L&L's in common where
Lynn.
Hey Lynn.
Hey Lynn.
She's watching, listening.
Hey Lynn.
And we always have to promote Lynn and her boutique because she actually retails my jewelry line there, MGSC, the Millena Gay Signature Collection, available at 1205 North La Brea, L&L's Boutique.
Shameless plug. We know.
Shameless plugging.
Yeah.
But yeah, she has your book there and your picture there, and every time I go in, I'm like, oh, Norwood, I need to call my friend and read the book.
Yes, I'm glad you did.
Yes, I am too, and I'm just so glad. You know, I'm really glad you wrote this because I don't get a lot of time, and I'm sure a lot of people don't get a lot of time to read books because there's so much with the internet stuff going on, and you have Twitter and Facebook and da-da-da-da-da, and then along with your other stuff that we have to do on a daily basis, it gets to be a challenge. But explaining this, it speaks to me personally, and I know it speaks to a lot of people, a lot of the viewers who may have gone or be going through something similar like that right now. I know personally, I'm doing a literal revamp of people in my life.
It's called Getting Back to My Me.
I am getting back to my me because I've had a few ups and downs and bumps, and that is about to change in about 24 to 48 hours.
Exactly.
If you guys know exactly what that is.
Exactly.
Some of you know what that is.
Smooth ride.
Hey,
Smooth
that's
ride.
what it is. And I know who was there for me when I needed and who was not around, and who's just there for the parties and the this and that and the red carpets.
And you know what too, Millena, though, is here's what I've learned. I've learned that if we were to get rid of everyone in our lives who did us wrong, or that we did not think that were worthy of what we give, if they were, we'd be by ourselves, alone.
You're
So
right.
what I've learned to do is not expect anything, and only, I hate to say use, but only deal with people according to what they're capable of giving. So if you know, for me, time, I have a big pet peeve with time. If I know, John, that you're one of my dear friends, but I know John is never on time, I don't expect anything from John, and I just tell him to get there when he gets there, because then I'm not disappointed.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if you choose to deal with the people that you choose to deal with based on their reality and not what we expect, we have a lot of friends who are worthy and worth it.
Really?
Because if I got rid of everybody who I allowed to get on my nerves because they're always late, I'd have 2 friends.
You know what? It's funny you should say that, because literally my situation is giving me a new appreciation for time and other people's stuff, and now I am a time Nazi. And there's certain things that
time,
I want to kick everybody out who's late.
When you make an agreement to set a time for something, it's a verbal contract.
Yes.
That verbal contract is based on your word, because you had time to think about and designate that time.
Right.
So we planned this.
Right.
So I don't get why you're late.
Right.
There's traffic, there's this, that, and the other. So there's that 15-minute window and that telephone call that alleviates all the bull crap. But time is a contract.
It is.
And if you don't keep your contract, as far as I'm concerned, you don't keep your word. You don't keep your words, you're not honest, I can't deal with you.
Exactly. That's one thing. Got to be honest. Got to be honest. Keep it real.
Exactly.
Right on.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break. Thank you for all of that. Ooh, I appreciate that. I'm learning and growing. Hope you're learning and growing as well. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with Manners and More with Millena with Norwood Young, John Downey III, and Donna Andrew.
Judgmental about you.
Thank you, and welcome back to Manners and More with Millena. I'm sitting here chatting with my dear friends as we're live, Donna Andrews, John Downey III, and Norwood Young. And Norwood just shared with us all about his wonderful book, and he was actually just sharing with me his opinion of the logo, Manners and More with Millena. So actually, next show we'll have a different logo. How about that? Thank you, Norwood, for being honest. And that's what true friends do. And
yeah.
knowing that it's criticism covered in love, it's constructive criticism covered in love. That's what I take away from it. And a lot of people, they want to say things, and it's not. They say it and get great joy in being mean about it.
Oh no, but you know the other side of it. But the other side of it, Millena, that picture that you use on the logo. On a personal note, I feel bad because how do you lust after somebody that looks like the church lady? You know what I'm saying? Now, the way I'm looking at you today, it's like, yeah, that's it. That's it. Boom.
But I'm not advocating lusting after me. I'm advocating etiquette.
You have nothing to do with my feelings.
Oh, okay.
Boom. Okay. You know, so it's just so two dichotomies. It's like, what is it?
Okay.
So find a medium.
Okay.
All right.
Point taken.
All right.
I will do that.
Very good.
Okay.
Boom.
Next show, new logo. Hey. So we're going to chat with John for a little bit. Hey, John.
So welcome to Melena's 20th week.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
No.
Yes, this is your 20th week.
Oh, yay. I had no idea. 20 episodes. Wow.
Yeah.
And you've been here like 10 of them.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
So glad to be back. So glad. We have so much fun.
I know. It is a blast when you're here. It is a blast. And my fabulous managers, Rebecca and Sheldon, hey, guys. They always ask about you first.
My favorite people in the world.
They love you to pieces. So welcome back. And I know you have something, I know you sing as well, in addition to act.
I do. I'm actually going to be singing at Della's Church again. Karen asked me on Sunday. So my second big time up on the altar.
Oh, and what are you going to be singing?
I think I'm going to sing from Into the Woods, No One Is Alone. Because it's something I've worked on for a long time, and I really like it. So it's a hard song, but it'll be good. It'll touch people. So, and I always believe you find the one to touch people. So
Yeah, there are a few times. Well, actually, all of the songs there just really speak volumes. And one day I'm going to get up some nerve and sing like Amazing Grace or something.
You should.
I'm going to do it.
Just jump up.
I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Now, talk about, you have something that you're doing on June the 6th.
I have a huge event coming up.
Huge is not the word.
Well, it is huge.
Enormous.
Yeah, it is huge. 2 years ago, I ran in April for the Rights and Clearances Guild. They're kind of like the people who do the legal work on television shows, as opposed to the PGA or the DGA. And I got up there and spoke out. So you have to be very careful what you speak out because it will come back and haunt you. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm going to make us known. And I'm sitting here going, I'm hearing this bull in my head, didn't say the word. And I'm going, how are you going to do that? And somebody came to me earlier this year, one of our members. We only have 92 members. We're a very select group of people who do this work. We work on all of the television shows, all of the films, you name it that's been nominated, one of our people works on it. Wow. And so she came to me and she said there's a company in New York that's going public called Shutterstock that does both video and still licensing, and they want to sponsor an event for us. And so we decided to flip the tables on our people and introduce us to the Hollywood creative community. And we just kind of ran with it. We decided that we would do the event at Raleigh Studios in Hollywood on June 6th, which is a Thursday. And then I started working on the invites. And I know Melena's going to be there. There's a little invite. I know that Rebecca and Sheldon are going to be there.
Yes.
I actually invited Marion Ramsey, who is also a singer. She played Hooks on the Police Academy movie, so she's going to be there.
Oh, I loved her
And
character.
she invited her friend who played Old Deuteronomy and Cats. I think his name is Clint Bowers.
Okay.
And for 7 years on Broadway. So he's going to be there. So we have a very interesting mix of people, from executive producers to line producers to EICs to...
Now, what is EIC for those who don't know?
Executive in charge of production. They are the money people on the shows. So, because we want to introduce our people and allow them to get hired. And since we started the event, what happened is our website hits went from like 50 a month to 50 a day. Our job leads went from 1 a month to 1 a day.
Wow.
So the traffic has been amazing. I did the program. So this is our fancy dancy little program.
Awesome.
I am opening and emceeing the event, and I kept meditating and go, well, what am I going to do to start the event? And then all of a sudden I said, you're going to sing There's No Business Like. So I've rewritten the lyrics to the song. Nobody knows. This is an announcement here that I'm actually doing this. I'm not going to tell anyone until that night and really shock them. And And then Shutterstock will do a presentation. Then we're going to have a panel on film, television, and animation. The head of DreamWorks is coming and sitting on that panel. The woman who did 42, the woman who does Mad Men will also be on that panel. The person who did Lincoln last year.
Oh, nice.
Then we're going to do what we call clearance potpourri, which is a little bit of everything. It's the script licensing and the music licensing and the studio licensing. And then I'll come back for the really crazy one, because you know I'm crazy. And it will be daily clips and reality shows with the person from The Tonight Show, from Tosh.0, the guy who did the NAACP Awards, and who is I'm trying to remember. Oh, and my favorite, Sean Laws, who is the Amazing Race and Big Brother. And she is our membership director. So you'll get to meet her and find out about joining. We have the Studio Cafe. We're anticipating 200 people. It's free beverage and food. And then for 2 hours, we'll go up into the Chaplin Theater and have the presentations. And we're going to do the Donahue Q&A. I'm going to run around in a white suit.
Oh, I love it.
Wait,
so that's going to be your outfit?
Yeah, well, kind of. We're working on it still. We're working on it. I'm talking to the people at SMC if they'll loan me back the suit that I wore in Kiss of the Spider Woman. Okay. Right now, it's being worn by some actor in Thoroughly Modern Millie, so I'm going to try to steal it from him on Friday when I go to the show. But if not, I found something really nice at Zara and some diesel white jeans that might work. So, you know, we're going to see. And then the last hour will be a dessert and coffee reception. And you just join us at the fire pit. It's really, we are actually right now at capacity. But we are going to offer 40 more people the opportunity to join and come. And then I'm closing the guest list. So for Melena's people who are in the business, if you are interested in coming, it's info@clearink.org. That goes directly to me on my cell phone. And I'll get you in.
All right. Now, how much is it to?
It's free.
Free?
Yeah, it's a free event.
Free.
It's sponsored. And the Clearance Guild is going to give out their directory on flash drives to everybody who comes. Shutterstock has gift bags, so there'll be swag. It's very interesting because the head of Universal's coming, the head of NBC is coming. I've had friends who are producers who have emailed me and said, I want to come, and I want to go, yeah, but I invited you on Facebook on the 16th of April, and now you're getting a letter of an email of a person and asking, but I'm like, come on down, Cecil.
Come on down.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's Hollywood.
And I can tell you this, if you are not on time, guess what? You won't get a seat in the theater, so you have to show up on time and get in the theater on time.
Exactly. Well, there's, the trick to that is food. You said there's food and there's drink and there's swag bags, gift bags. I mean, that's all they need. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun networking night. And I have actually, for the majority of the people that I reached out to, I think I sent out personally 1,000 invitations. I read every single person's credits. So if you got a letter from me, then I read your credits online, and I said, yes, you should come. Wow. And you are the credit guru. Yeah. Because, and I do have to give this shout out, because, I just tell it all on the show. Just tell it all. I have to thank you publicly, because I've thanked you privately, for helping me to get my IMDb credits where they need to be. Because previously, if you looked on my IMDb, I looked like an extra. You would never know that I've been in the business for 17 years and that I've done all that I've done.
18 years old, right?
I know it. I know it.
Okay.
So, but you would never have known that looking at my IMDb, because I never spent the time to collect all this stuff from One Life to Live back in 2001 is when I first started on One Life to Live, then All My Children, blah, 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 blah. So I want to thank you, John, for helping me. Actually, it wasn't even help. He did it. She came to my office, sat right. I said, just come to the office and we'll do it. And IMDb, and I'm not knocking them, but for us who are in the business, it is very difficult because information shows up on there and it's locked in. And if you don't know how to upload, it won't make it in there. So a lot of actors get really, really frustrated. Yes. And then and one of our main people, Cassandra Barber, who's in the Rights and Clearances Guild and oversees 18 shows and films a year, including Mad Men. And my favorite, she did Django last year, but Medea's Witness Program was the one I loved. But what's interesting is Cassandra had a big fight with them because she said, I have 18 credits this year and you are not putting them online. And they said, that's impossible. No. I mean, it is an uphill battle in working with them. So. Very uphill. And I've years and years begging and pleading and screaming and crying and just I hate IMDb. IMDb is the devil. And I don't know why. But it's used.
it's used like they'll look at your number and they will cast you based on your number.
Exactly.
You know?
And even if they don't have the right information. Whereas, like, you could look at my reel and see that I've been on General Hospital, but you look at my IMDb and there's no credit there.
Right.
Like, what in the world? Or you can see it, but it doesn't match. But because of you, I want to thank you for that. And because of you,
Your numbers jumped.
my numbers not only
You got
jumped
cast.
because of you.
You took off that ugly credit.
No, none of that. But because of you, I've been nominated.
Yay! And what were you nominated for?
I have been nominated as, and this is a worldwide announcement unless you follow me on Twitter, which you already know, I've been nominated as Outstanding Daytime Soap Star.
Wow.
Work on The Young and the Restless. And
I used to be a soap star junkie. What part of my ignorance, what were you on?
Well, I started on One Life to Live as Nora's legal assistant. Then I moved over to All My Children.
Nora. Yeah, okay.
Nora. Yes, that was back in 2001.
With Bo.
Nora and Bo.
Nora and Bo, okay,
that
go
was
ahead.
way back then. And then I did All My Children and Guiding Light. And then I moved out here, landed a role on General Hospital as Talia. And now I play Marjorie Curtis. I'm a recurring character on The Young and the Restless. Marjorie Curtis.
Hi,
And
Marjorie.
so,
Okay, yeah.
The number one rated show for 24 years.
number one rated
Hello.
show. And now I'm nominated as Outstanding
That's fantastic.
Daytime Soap Star.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thinking I'm sure they checked IMDb.
Hey, you know.
And so now it's where it needs to be. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. That would just happen Friday morning.
That's excellent. I mean, I believe our job in this business is to help each other out.
It is.
You know,
It
what
is.
was the man before talking about competition?
Exactly. Richard Gant was just talking about, he'll be back on the show July 10th, and he was talking about competition. And if you just do the best that you can do, you don't have to worry about the competition.
No, exactly.
You don't have to worry about it. It's all about just being the best you can be and
exactly.
getting back to my
me.
me. And that's what it is. That is what it is. So we're gonna get talking about some etiquette now. With your event coming up and your event coming up, what are the proper things aside from RSVPing, which people have done, they have not done, and if you still want to go, John said he has 40 tickets left, 40 seats. So RSVP to info
At clearinc.org.
at clearinc.org if you want to come to this fabulous event. And at Norwood's event, you don't have to
You don't
RSVP.
have to- well, here's let me give a little etiquette.
Please, let's get to the
regarding
etiquette.
RSVP, and the reason why a lot of people, party planners and event planners, choose that. Because when you're planning an event, you try to not buy too much food because it goes to waste. Because and we know what the ratio of people hungry in this country is, so that's sad within itself.
Right.
You try to buy the proper amount of alcohol. You try to rent this right amount of seating and tables, this, that, and the other. So the thing behind RSVPing is so that a person can get a head count.
Yes.
Of who's attending and who's not, and then you can properly buy what's necessary or accommodate you. The downside to not RSVPing is if a host only accommodates according to the RSVP and there's no room for you. You see what I'm saying? But somewhere along the line, people lost why it is so important to do so. The other side of it is being a slightly sensitive gentleman when it comes to my friends and people that I consider. If I've gone out of my way to invite you, to think of you, to make you a guest, is it so much harm for you to RSVP and say, I'm coming or I'm not? So there is proper etiquette in RSVPing, and it's just as proper to send your regrets.
Okay.
It's just as proper to send your regrets. We've already gone through the time issue being a proper thing to do. It's just you're keeping your word.
Yes.
You know, there's etiquette when you're going to see a performance.
Yes.
If you're going out to a club and you just want to drink and this, that, and the other, whatever, that's fine. There's a jukebox. There's the sports bars with the TVs, whatever. But if you are free or not free, going to see an act, going to see the singer, then have some compassion and have some courtesy and have some etiquette for the performer.
Yes.
Talk between the songs. Take pictures between the songs. Tweet between the songs. But during the course of a performance, it's not proper etiquette to talk over or be involved and interact with other people other than you and the performer.
And these things are not a joke. It's very funny. You know, they always joke about the wrappers on the hard candy. And it's so funny. When I did Kiss of the Spider Woman, they had me further down towards the audience for one scene. And all of a sudden, and I'm outside doing this scene by myself, and I hear crinkle, 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 and I go, huh? And then I went, oh my God, I'm supposed to be singing. Like, it totally took me out of my space. So it's these things that they tell you not to do or to do, it really can affect the performer on stage.
Right, and then the performance doesn't go off, and then the next thing you know, then they're talking about it, tweeting about it, Facebook. Oh, well, this person did this and that. Well, if you had been respectful, respecting the artist and respecting the craft, none of that would have.
And
happened.
this wasn't even at the beginning of the show. This was like 3/4 into the show, almost being over.
What?
So it's not like,
This is why, like, for instance, I did a couple shows on Broadway. You have that 3-minute dialogue where they actually are basically teaching you etiquette. No cell phones, no flash photography, no candy wrappers. You can't get into the theater until it goes dark if you're late.
Exactly.
But Broadway has the best etiquette there is.
Yes.
The very best.
And they have
They
great
do.
divas, because Patti LuPone got so furious at an audience member, and I want you all to look this up on YouTube because it is the funniest thing you'll ever see in your life.
What happened?
She stopped Gypsy in the middle of the show, so it's Patti LuPone and Gypsy, and she stopped it. And she said, and she said whatever she said, you horrible, rude person, get out of here. I'm not singing. And they waited until that person was out of the theater, and then the show continued.
Wow.
And the audience was like this, wow! Like, they went nuts. It's the best thing you will ever see, because I would never want to be called out by Patti
Well, let me
LuPone.
tell you, I wasn't quite that bad. But again, if I spend my time to learn lyrics, create lyrics, write songs, hire musicians to sing the songs, have a band, to do everything that I can to put this event together, I have a little bit of a problem when people are being loud. So I have been known to stop my show. And people will look around and I'll say, this conversation these people are having is obviously more important than the performance right now. So we'll wait for them to continue, and then we'll continue. I did it 2 weeks ago, and I got a telephone call because somebody was offended. I'm so sorry that you were offended, that you offended me.
Right.
How does that work?
How does that
But it's
work?
also offending the rest of the audience, because they
Most
are
certainly.
all uncomfortable when
Most
it happens.
certainly.
At Della's church, both Della and Dr. Charles would stop services and address people.
Exactly. Exactly.
As it should be done. And, on Michael Collier's show, he will stop what he's saying and take out that giant flashlight that's this big and shine it on you. Excuse me.
That's right.
And whether you're late, if you're coming in late, he stops. Okay, you find your seat and going to talk about you all the way.
Right.
Whether you got a 7-Eleven hat on or...
Right. Because at some point we have to be
true.
responsible.
Exactly. We're adults. We're adults.
Exactly.
And we've made a commitment to do something. And so it's best to honor that commitment and do it in the right, most respectful way.
Exactly.
So now let me ask you this question. Oh, my goodness, the time, it just disappears. It's so bananas. Oh, it makes me so upset. I'd like to introduce Ms. Donna Andrews. And as you can see, audience, you can see the lovely paintings behind us here. And Donna is the one who has painted these fabulous paintings. So, Donna, I'm going to give you the floor for a few moments. And why don't you share? Now, I told the audience that I'm not going to tell your age, but I am going to tell it because you are just so fantastic and so fabulous. And to know that you've been able to do this at what most people call a later time in life, but you've been divinely inspired to create, and masterpieces is what you have created. So actually, I just told a fib because I'm not going to tell it. You can tell your own age if you want to, as I'm 25 in my head. So right in my head. So you go on, and you please tell us all about this wonderful artwork.
Okay, I'll be as brief as I can, but I'm so glad to be here. And Norwood, I'm so glad you were so open, because part of my story is like your story.
Okay.
I was raised in New Brunswick, New Jersey, college town, and I got a scholarship to college. And then I was sexually assaulted, and I was going to get married in white. It was all over, and I started to drink. And I drank until I was 31 years old. And I've been sober for 43 years. So I know the transition,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And I came out here on the Greyhound bus when I was 24 years old because I knew my life was over. And I always wanted to come to California, back east. Yeah, we used to eat California hamburgers. They have lettuce and radishes on them, right? And what happened was I was drunk when I went to get my ticket from the Greyhound station, and I was so scared to come 3,200 miles. When the guy said, "Where are you going? L.A. or Frisco?" I said, "Frisco." And unfortunately for me, I went to Frisco.
Where's Frisco?
San
Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Because I was afraid to leave home, you know. And later my friends would say, "You don't run away from home when you're 24, you left."
Right.
And my aunt came to get me from San Pedro, And I drank until I was 31. I met a nice guy from the South, from Bradenton, poor guy. And he married me. He didn't drink and he didn't smoke. And at 31, I got sober. And I was 35, and I started going to El Camino College. And being raised near Princeton and Yale,
Right.
I always wanted an education. And so I started going to El Camino and for years, and I worked as a medical transcriber, and I worked as a administrative secretary for the government, and I became very independent, and I'm an only child, so I learned to take care of myself very well, and I was very proud, and my self-esteem came back. And I worked, and then I was about 63, and I had been at El Camino. If I was dating somebody that was a scientist, I'd take scientific courses.
Okay.
If I had dated anything to just stay in school. And so I was 63, and Mr. Brownlee, my professor, since I was at El Camino, he said, "Donna, why don't you matriculate?" And I said, "What does matriculate mean?" He said, "Take some courses. You've been here since you were 35. He said, "Take some courses to graduate." I said, "For what? I don't have any money. I'll never graduate. I don't have any money to go to a bigger college." And so, but I took his advice, and when I was 65, I got access to some money. And so instead of like saving it for my old age,
I'm sorry. How old are you now?
I'm getting there.
I'm like, she said I was 63. I was 65. Okay.
Well, you could do the math. She said she was sober 40 years when she was 31.
Now you
So
know.
we somewhere around 71.
Around there.
All right, go ahead.
Keep going.
Right.
So, let me see, where was I? So I was,
Matriculating.
Well, I was
You got
matriculating.
some money.
Right. And so what happened, though, I was at the age where age discrimination was coming up. So being I was I could type 90 words a minute, they wouldn't hire me. So I went to the Department of Rehab. And this lady had just come back from South Africa. And she said, "Well, darling, how many jobs did you lose the last 12 months?" I said, 12. She said, "Well, maybe you have a problem." She said, "What did you want to be when you were 18? I thought, that was so long ago. I said, "An artist." And she said, "That's what you will become."
Wow.
And she started paying for the expenses at El Camino. And when I was 65, I went over to Otis, never heard of Otis College of Art and Design. And I went over there, and they saw my portfolio, and they accepted me.
Wow.
And I graduated with honors, and I made the dean's list. And all the kids, they were so wonderful to me. I used to swim every morning, and they'd be drunk. They were doing what young people do when they go to college. And they just thought I was so
You were in the
amazing.
dorm room with them?
Well, I was with them all day. No dorm there.
Oh, okay.
But I was with them every day, and they were doing what young people do. And so finally, I got my degree, and I've been painting now. I'm almost 75 in June.
Wow.
And
75.
thank
It
you.
looks good.
Thank you. And so this is my work. I've been at the African Museum of Art. My last show was at Watts Tower. And I am with a group of people. I cannot tell you that I'm like a grain of sand. Artist Lane is one of the greatest sculptors in America, and I'm in that group.
Wow.
And I'm with Tony Scott. I saw a picture of her on Facebook with Biden. She's a sculptor. I'm in their group. And I'm in SLAC, Silver Lake group also.
Okay.
And it's when I paint, I'm always surprised.
Really? So
I
you
did.
don't know
I
what it's
I
going
didn't do oil till I was 63.
It's called
I
Getting
never
Back
did.
to My Me.
And these are all oil?
Yes.
That's incredible.
okay.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. Look at these pictures are just
No, but she
outstanding.
has on Christian Louboutins. Look at her shoes.
Mm-hmm.
She's got red bottoms.
You know what? I forgot. Wait,
I love it.
I forgot to put the red stripe on the shoe. And I'm always painting with younger people, and they said, "Honey, don't leave that red stripe off that shoe."
That's the Louboutin.
That's the
baby.
Louboutin.
That's
Here,
the
I'm going to
Louboutin.
take my camera
I never heard of it. Yeah,
and try to show it.
that's the
Okay.
girl on the settee. That's the girl on the settee.
Now that's the name of that one, the
Yes.
girl on the settee,
Yes, can you see it?
with her Christian Louboutins.
Yeah, she got Louboutins, baby. Yes, sir. I like a red bottom on a woman.
All my women sort of have an attitude.
Yes, she
And
certainly does.
They,
She sure does.
They're very, and in each painting I see myself.
Okay.
Just like when you sing,
Right.
you hear yourself.
Right.
And the second painting with Michael Jackson, when he died, I was so shocked. The first thing that came to me was the Pieta.
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
And I just saw him like tired, and I wanted him to rest in his mother's arms. And I just that's one of my favorite paintings.
Wow.
It really
Yeah,
is.
mine too. Now that I know the story behind it.
And then the third painting is just two women of two obviously ethnic groups, and they're celebrating how I feel most of the time
Okay.
in my life, right,
Okay,
Norwood?
that's wonderful.
Once you've
Yeah,
been there,
once you've been there, that's
and you
right.
come back,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And that's how I feel most of the time. I hear music in that painting, and I hear singing in that painting. And if you can see the one over there, the name of that is "Come Hither."
Now,
And
which one has come hither?
the girl sitting down,
This one?
yes.
I'll be Vanna Black for a moment. This is come hither.
Yes, and I have a fascination with material. You know, I wondered, I was the only one to sell her paintings at graduation day at Otis College of Art and Design. And those kids had been painting like 15 years, and I had been painting too. And so I wanted to know, I asked the teacher, how come I got such good credit for my art? And the kids had been painting longer than I have. And they said to me it was what I brought to the painting.
Yeah.
It was my age. And I had not drawn since I was 19.
Well, you know, they say in acting that the reason why somebody who is 19 can't play a 25-year-old is because they don't have the life experience. So you brought life experience with you to these works of art, not just, you know, what you learned.
That was amazing to me.
Yeah.
Because every time I finish a painting, I'm always astounded. I asked my professor the other day, I do portraits now of people, and I asked my professor, I said, when will I finish a painting and say, I knew that would be good? He said, maybe never.
Right.
That's when you want to
Right.
retire. That's when it's time to give it up.
But-
What age did you? I'm sorry. What age did you start drinking again?
I was, I got 19.
And that's when you stopped. That's the last
That's
time you
when I
painted.
drew. Yeah,
That's the
you
last
got
time.
that.
That's
Yeah.
that's when you lost your me.
Yes, I lost my dreams and everything.
Yeah.
And s-
I have to tell you, actually, we have some people on chat with us. Hey, Auntie Kathy, thank you for the nomination acknowledgement. Thank you. But they're saying the paintings are amazing.
Wow, thank
Absolutely
you. Thank you
beautiful.
so much.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Little T. We see you out there. Thank you. And Christian Lawrence, they're saying the artwork is fantastic. Shout out to Crystal Salem Photography
Thank
because
you.
know it's one thing to get acknowledgement from strangers, but when you're being acknowledged by your peers, others who really have an eye for it, that really makes a difference. And they're on the stream right there. They're saying the artwork is
Oh, I
fantastic,
see.
truly talented woman. It's absolutely beautiful. So you're actually coming into your own.
Yes. You know, I painted my neighbors. You know, like they say, you can't be in a closet and pray for God to answer a prayer. Well, I was going to be a little short of money in June, but all of a sudden the lady knocked on my door across the hall from me, and she said, "Donna, I'm ready for you to paint my portrait." So you can't stay at home in your house and get your prayers in.
No, you have to go outside.
No, you don't.
You got to go inside.
Inside,
Go
yes,
inside.
go inside.
And my greatest compliment was after I just finished painting her portrait, I went over there to ask her to snip something off my dress or something, and her family was there. And she said to them in Spanish, she is the artist. And her son, about 50, and all the grandkids were there. He came to me and he said, beautiful painting.
Wow.
That
That's beautiful.
is the Oscar for me.
Yeah, that's great.
That's when I feel I did a good job.
Well, you certainly deserve an Oscar for these. I mean, these are absolutely phenomenal, beautiful. Now, what is your price point in case anyone wants to purchase them? What is your price range?
Well, I did write it down just in case you were to ask me because I can't remember it. Did I lose it? Let's see. Michael is $8,000.
Okay, and that's the Michael Jackson piece behind
Right.
his mother's arms.
The girl in the settee, or sometimes I say girl in the chair, is $5,000.
One with Chrissy Lou,
No.
Christian Louboutins.
Yes, that lady.
Yes,
That lady.
red shoes.
The golden girl, the girl sitting on the chair, on the floor,
Yes.
she's $3,500. The festival, the two girls are $8,000, and my walking girl is $3,000.
3,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a bargain because B. Arthur Naked sold for $2 million last week.
Did.
Wait a
Oh
minute. What?
man!
Yeah, at Christie's, there's an artist who did a portrait of B. Arthur just topless. And
Wait a minute. The one
she-
from Golden Girls?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
she didn't even sit for it. It
No.
was his imagination.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're giving them a really good bargain right now because somebody just got paid $2 million
believe
for a
you.
naked B. Arthur.
Wow. And look at the bargain you can get here.
Yeah.
And look at this. This is
Well, remember Nicole Smith? What was her name?
Anna Nicole?
Anna Nicole Smith used to scribble little, like elementary school paintings, and they sold for quite a bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So someday I hope I can.
Now, do
sell
you have a
my-
layaway plan?
Of course I do.
Good.
Especially for the portraits. Like if it's $500, they only pay me $250, and then I start it, and then I finish it, and they like it. I get the rest of the money. But they must be satisfied.
Well, it sounds silly, but my friend Catherine did it. She found an artist she really liked. She found the painting in the shop, and she paid on it every month until she took it home.
That makes
Yeah.
sense to me. Why not?
Yeah,
That's right.
that's wonderful.
That's
And so
very
you do artwork, you do individual portraits for $500?
Yes, the right size.
Okay.
Usually, I have to paint like your face and your body life size. I don't paint small.
Right. Well, clearly. These,
Well, not
these are
that
almost
big.
life size.
My teacher, sometimes people tell me if I painted small, I could make a lot of money. And then my professor Brownlee told me, he says, "Oh no, you'll sell your paintings to people with large houses."
Amen.
Exactly.
There you go.
But
People
I
with large
can't. I
houses
can't
need large paintings.
Right. The lady I painted her portrait. She lives in a 1-bedroom apartment, and it fits her 1-bedroom apartment. Of
And how do
course.
people find you?
Well, I can give you my website. That is www.artbydonnaandrews, ANGERS.com. And you can also email me at dmangers@msn.com. And I love to do portraits, and we could discuss the size and the price and negotiate.
Okay, that sounds
Very
great. You know,
nice.
someone also just said, this is little Terrence. Hey, little T. He said, I really like the paintings and what message it brings.
Oh, thank you
Able to get
so
the message
much.
through.
That's important to me.
It
I don't
is.
just paint the picture. I like to think I show the soul or the essence of that image. Mm-hmm. And it comes to life for me.
Wow. Well, it's coming to life for everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
You're
me.
very welcome. You're very welcome. Well, it's almost time to wrap up the show, unfortunately. So let's just get a quick few male etiquette tips, like paying the bill, pulling out chairs, and opening doors. Gentlemen,
I told you I always pay the bill.
that's why we love John.
If you come to dinner with me, there's no arguing. It's the power. You put it on the table.
And there it is. And how do you feel about that, Norwood?
I feel the same way. If I invite you, then I should pay the bill,
Wonderful.
without a doubt.
Right.
I do believe in the liberated woman, though. Well, let me say this: I don't like a woman who expects it of me. unless I'm the person that's offering it.
Okay, well,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
there's the thing. If you're inviting,
Right.
then it's expected.
Right.
But if it's just a, hey, let's go to the whatever, then that's different.
Then be surprised at the fact that I'm going to pay the bill.
Right.
But I do accept tips because you know what? I can put everything on the credit card, but I want cash for the tip.
Right, because there are peers.
And we started 20 to 50% on the tip.
All right.
Yesterday
now.
we left 15.
Ooh, you went yesterday and didn't call me?
Table 22.
That's right.
Where
I'm
were you?
coming
You
to
snuck
that
out of
too.
church too early. I didn't even get to say hello to you.
Well, we talked about church, but we didn't talk about God. Isn't He wonderful?
Oh, yes.
Wonderful. All day.
Oh,
All the time.
There's
Always
no
gotta
life
mention
without
him.
God.
Always.
All right,
Actually,
all right.
usually every show we talk about
Okay,
God
good.
in
Okay, I can't
some
leave
way.
him out.
I think
Anything
we
I
did,
do
though.
ever.
We did talk about God.
Well, God
Didn't
is
we?
here.
Yes.
He's all
He's here.
around.
Well,
okay. did.
There's
I just got to
love.
put it out there.
You got to put it out
I
there.
never do anything without mentioning Him. Thank you, God.
To
Thank
God
you,
be
God.
the glory.
God be the
Amen.
glory.
Amen.
Yeah, there's a song about it when I hear it.
Exactly.
And actually, I had to leave because I had to do that play reading that I was in from the last week's show.
But she
which
looked
was-
gorgeous at church. I flipped back and said, oh, there's Millena. She looks
I saw her in church Sunday, yes.
Yeah, she was there yesterday.
Millena, I just want them to know if they don't like their painting, they don't have to, they can have their money back.
Oh, wow, it's refundable.
Really.
Money back guarantee.
Right.
Okay.
Because if they're
Like
not.
Burger King.
And a layaway plan.
And a layaway plan. Get it your way. That's a great deal.
I'll be at Target soon.
Well, thank you so much, Donna, for being on this show. Thank you.
you.
Norwood.
Thursday nights.
Thursday, yes. Promote Thursday night. Can you
Thursday
sing a
night.
little bit of the Na-Na song?
Ooh.
See.
Okay. Nope. CD doesn't come out for like 5 months. I am so glad to know that you love me. And I feel that you know that you make me happy. But I hate to be the one. You're having so much fun. I gotta burst your bubble. You think that you know it all. You weren't the first to fall. And baby, you're in trouble. Na 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 na. I fell in love with you first. Oh, na 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 na. I fell in love with you first. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yay! That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank
I
you. So
love
come out
it.
on Thursday. Please come out
wow.
We'll
Thursday.
be there.
Jonna?
We'll be there.
Yeah.
All right, Thursday.
Be there.
You'll be
We'll
there?
be there. And you guys be there too. And thank you so much, John, for coming on
Always
and
fun
hanging
coming
out
back.
again. And that's right, with info at
Clearinc.org.
clearinc.org for that free fabulous event.
Wow.
And with that, unfortunately, our time today has come to an end again. But we'll be back next week. Actually, we will be back, but not live, because next week, as I'm reminded by my wonderful engineer, the poetess, yes.
Yes,
round of applause for her,
poetess. Woo.
holds it down every single week. Next week, we will be running a very special repeat of a very special episode. And when I know what that is, I'll send you an email and you'll know too. We have 20 episodes to choose from,
Yeah.
so it's fantastic. In the meantime, be well, be blessed, and also stay tuned so I can give you information on how to vote for me for my nomination for Outstanding Daytime Soap Star. I'm so honored and so humbled, and I thank you so much for that honor. And I believe there's a way that the popular votes count as well, so Twitter and Facebook and all that, but I got to read emails to figure that out. So I'll let you know at the next show. In the meantime, stay well, stay blessed, take care. Manners and More with Millena. Bye.